empirical formula is part of the molecular formula. So now, what was the formula you just wrote? I'm going to scratch this out so we can... It's the mass of the molecular formula, which is given to you right there. And you're going to divide by the total mass of the empirical formula. Can we close that door, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Okay, and that's going to give you a number. Whatever your empirical formula is, you're going to multiply that number to it to get your molecular formula. Okay, so let's do number 1. They're giving you the 92 grams per mole, right? That's your MF, so that goes on top. Now, your empirical formula is the NO2. How much does nitrogen weigh? 14. How much does oxygen weigh? And you have 2 of them, so that's 32, right? So 14 plus 32 is how much? 46.
What? I'm confused. Go again.
Okay.
46.
NO2 is your empirical formula, correct?
Correct.
Yes? They're giving it to you. NO2
Okay.
is your empirical formula. Nitrogen weighs 14. You have to look at the periodic table.
Okay.
Oxygen weighs 16, and you have 2 of them. So 16 times 2 gives you that 32. So that 32 plus 14, that's what they're saying is 46 grams per mole. That's your molar mass. Okay? So you see how we're following that formula? So now 92 divided by 46, what is my N? What's my number? Yep, it's a 2. Okay? So once you get this number, that's your main point here. You're using that empirical formula to get that number. Once you get that number, you're going to take your empirical formula and multiply that 2. So 2 times 1 from the nitrogen, 2 times 2 from the oxygen. What is my molecular formula? I have N2O4. This chemical is my molecular formula. Okay? Where are we lost so far? Where we got a number?
Wait, okay.
Where do we have a question?
The number on the outside of the parentheses, that's the number that you get
From right here.
okay.
Okay?
Got it.
You took the molar mass, which they're always going to give you the molar mass. It's right there. And you have to figure out the molar mass of the empirical formula. Okay?
So what's the answer?
Yeah, we can do number 2.
Is it the N2O4?
So once you get this number, you're going to multiply it towards the empirical formula. That gives you, this is my answer, the molecular formula.
Okay.
Okay? Let's do number 2 just to make sure that we're all in the same place. Okay? Look at your number 2 problem. What is your molecular formula mass?
70.
It says 70. So up here, you're going to have 70 grams per mole, right? Okay, what is my empirical formula? The CH2, right? So you're going to get the molar mass of that empirical formula. Mijo, you need to come back and sit at your desk. This is why you don't sit there, because you're talking during the lesson. Let's go.
What's that red number that you put on top? What's that red you put on top?
Up here, this is a 70 grams per mole. I was trying to squeeze it in. Okay, so now what's my molar mass of my empirical formula? Carbon's 12,
14.
and then plus the 2, that's 14. So you're going to have 14 grams per mole, right? Okay, so 70 divided by the 14, what's my number here? 5. Okay, so that's my number right here. I'm going to have a 5. So you're going to multiply that 5 to everything inside your empirical formula. So what's my chemical molecular formula?
So C5.
C5H10. Very good. This is my molecular formula. Okay. But see how it's real easy? However, you have to get that empirical formula first. So look at number 3. For number 3, you have to, let's move that up a bit. Okay. Are they giving you the empirical formula? Nope, you have to find it, right? I have the molecular formula, but we don't know what.
Well, I thought it's 60.
That's the top, that's a molecular formula mass. But to get the empirical formula mass, I have to get the empirical formula, right? So you're going to go back to what we did yesterday. Carbon is going to be divided by what? 12. Hydrogen is going to be divided by 1. Oxygen is going to be divided by 16. And guys, you have to show all of this. So 40 divided by 12, what are my three numbers? 3.3. Okay. Bless you. 6.7 divided by 1 is what?
6.7.
Yep. Very good. 53.5 divided by the 16 is what? 3.34. Okay. Now once you get the second set of numbers, we're going to divide by the lowest number, which is what? The 3.33. Okay. Now guys, I don't want to hear that you did it on the calculator or whatever. You have to show what you're doing, what's going on in your mind. Okay, so how many do I have for carbon? I have 1. How many do I have for hydrogen? 2. How many do I have for oxygen? 1. Okay, now I need a little more space because the iPad's small, so I'm going to move down here. You guys can use a separate sheet of paper if you need more space than that box, okay? All right, so my empirical formula is CH2O, correct? That's the empirical formula. Now, you already have the molar formula mass, molecular formula mass that's on top. You need to figure out what's going to go on the bottom. So you need to get the total weight of this empirical formula to put that on the bottom. So carbon weighs how much? 12. Hydrogen, and you have 2 of them. So 2 plus the 12 is 14. Very good. And then oxygen weighs 16. So the 14 plus 16 is 30. Very good. Okay. Let's resolve this so you can have some space. Okay. So that's going to be 30 right there. So 60 divided by 30 is 2. This 2 is what you're going to use to multiply into your empirical formula. You see how that's on the outside? Okay. Stop me if we're lost somewhere. Okay, so what's your next step?
U times the
So somebody give me the answer. C2. And this is your molecular formula. Very good, guys. Okay. Where do are we missing a step?
No.
Where do we have a question so far? Okay, you're going to do number 4 by yourself. You're going to tell me what that answer is, and I'll tell you if you're right. Once you're right, I'm going to stamp your worksheet, and that's going to go on page 35. Okay? Now, on the assignment today, scratch out number 11 and 12. Don't worry about it. Let's just do 1 through 10 so you can have enough time. Okay? You're going to do number 4. You're going to tell me what you get, and I'll tell you if you're correct.
That's what you get.
Okay? Carbon, carbon? For, what do you mean? Oh, C4. What is 64.9?
Oh, yeah, that's a 9. Because it's like kind of hard to see right here. She's
Oh,
asking,
for the percent.
Yeah, she's asking if
Okay.
it's a 9 right there.
You just throw a number at me anyhow without knowing what you're asking for. Yeah, that's your percent for carbon, yes. Okay. All right, any other questions so far?
What was the...
Okay.
Wait, what was the...